abduction cases, working with the Law Society of Kenya, they denied. But when the president called them out, they released Muturi's son. I am very happy Muturi came to be with the rest of Kenyans at the city mortuary, where you remember quite a number of bodies were found. And up to today, up to 100 or so youths who have been abducted cannot be catered for. You see, out of Muturi's efforts, an MCA from Wajir has been released, dumped 8 months later. And you know that MCA was locked up one time with Bob Jaggi, who kept on giving us evidence that this MCA is alive and was being tortured, blindfolded every day. And these are by government agents. And therefore, Muturi has said, if I...
Senator Maanzo has called on President William Ruto to listen to the people. Speaking during a morning breakfast show on Citizen TV, the senator called on CS Muturi to be a waking call to the president that even those affected, those who are in the circle of CS on top government officials, are affected with the economy in terms of even in social injustices, abduction, and killings of the young people. The senator further went and said, or issued an alert to President William Ruto on the planned financial bill 2025, saying it will bring much problem. Not only it addresses the people's requirement and be fair to all Kenyans. Listen to this as he was speaking during the morning show on Citizen TV.
The national government has refused to support the devolution. Most of these monies should be allocated through the national government. You saw that through the devolved units, through the Senate. You saw the markets, which are supposed to be done by counties, be done by members of parliament, especially those who are favorable to government. It was a political tool. All that money should have been moved to devolution. All money is aligned to devolution, agriculture, health, should all get devolved. So that sort of budget is unfair. And we really need to follow the law. Unfortunately, because of the tyranny of numbers, you know, votes, you see the majority have their way, while the minority have their say. And you know, we should have fair allocation in budgets, and devolution must get its share. What this government is doing is to kill devolution softly. That's unfair. It should be checked again. And the member of parliament is not part of executive. That has been the misnomer. We should allow the executive to do its job and members of parliament do their job, which is oversight and legislative. But unfortunately, members of parliament are implementing the executive agenda for their own benefit. And that's why we got a new constitution. That could happen in the old constitution. You will become a minister of finance, and you have an advantage over the other members of parliament. And you will allocate yourself even more resources. And those days, even the resources used to be allocated by the president himself. What he dictates to Treasury is what happens. And that's agents, as usual. And you know, I'm one of the lawyers in the abduction cases, working with the Law Society of Kenya. They denied. But when the president called them out, they released Muturi's son. I am very happy Muturi came to be with the rest of Kenyans at the city mortuary, where you remember quite a number of bodies were found. And up to today, up to 100 or so youths who have been abducted cannot be catered for. You see, out of Muturi's efforts, an MCA from Wajir has been released, dumped 8 months later. And you know that MCA was locked up one time with Bob Jaggi, who kept on giving us evidence that this MCA is alive and was being tortured, blindfolded every day. And these are by government agents. And therefore, Muturi has said, if I must be sacked because I'm speaking the truth, let it be. Trevor, abductions must stop. And anybody in this country can be abducted right now, other than Ruto himself. If Senator Mutata, there was a big effort to abduct him before he came to one of those great court cases he was fighting against Shah and Chief. Abductors went to his house, but they were not lucky. He had left and was coming to court. They thought they would find him there because they seen him in Busia during the day. If a senator who has security can be abducted, then anybody in this country can be abducted. Abductions must be stopped. It is not a concern of Muturi alone. It's a concern of the whole country. And I want to call upon the country. We must unveil, we must show who these abductors are. Whatever you saw what happened with the Tanzanian lady who was being abducted here, some characters, you know, even we know them. We know who the abductors are. So Kenyans need to come to a rescue of anybody. Be abducted, you should make noise, you should tweet, and make sure these people are surrounded and they are unveiled to the shame of the government. President Ruto must stop the abductions with immediate effect.
All right.
If he sacks Muturi for it, let it be. He will also soon be sacked by Kenyans for continuing to kill and abduct Kenyans. It's the most unlawful thing. It is a ground even for impeachment, because it is against the constitution of Kenya. There should never be any extrajudicial activity. And he himself, he vowed that it will never happen. People will never be found in River Yala. He vowed that he will never form Mogoreo governments. What is happening now? So Justin Muturi is very right on what he's doing. He has assisted those families and those who are lucky to have their child found dead, brutally murdered. The head of the, there are many families cry today. There's a petition in Parliament right now of the abductions from Nakuru and the killings in Nakuru, of which the KWS officers and the environs in Nakuru are crimes of, is a scene of crime. This government is doing nothing about it to make sure those children are found. Okay. So Muturi is right. Let him soldier on. If they want to fire him, I'm sure the people of Kenya will rehire him soon.
Okay.